Fifth person voted out of Survivor 46. Jem, need to bring me a torch.
So sorry to see you go right before the merge, too. And with an idol in your pocket, no one wants to see that happen. What was it like watching it all back?
Oh boy. I was like everybody else, play the idol. Like you can just scream at your TV and think it'll happen. But I knew what happened in that moment. And I knew I had an idol. I could have played it, but there was no reason for me to play it because I've had Alliance members since day two. And I trusted them and they gave me no red flags. So it wasn't like I could play my idol. And I thought about it and I was like, if I played it, it's going to backfire on me because of like the problems that I put them through. And so I didn't play it because I didn't think it was necessary. And I wish I had some kind of knowledge about what was going on, but as a viewer you're seeing every sides of it, but as a player you only know what you see and what you've done basically. And so it was really hard to kind of watch it because I'm like, should have known.
When you see those votes come in and it's for Jem and to Ben, who did you think voted with you for Ben and who did you think flipped?
I know Mo voted with me because her face was like just sad, and I know Maria and Charlie flipped because I also know Maria had 2 votes and I know that Ben had no. I For some reason we all knew Ben didn't have a vote, so I know he tried to pretend like we didn't know, but we knew because we were strategizing about it. But I didn't think Maria or I didn't think Charlie would have like flipped, but when I saw the name and I saw the extra vote, I was like, 2 on me. Interesting. I was like, you could have kept it and go into the merge because it's Tevin have another vote from when you guys were on it. So Tevin would know that you had a vote. You didn't need to. And they've never been to tribal, so they've never used it. So it was like, but it's an honor. So
Maria and I have been playing the middle the entire time we've been out here. I go back and forth. I think Maria goes back and forth. And right now, we're at that crossroads.
Charlie and Maria are the ones that flipped. How much on the island did you see of them being such this tight duo, comparing themselves to like Malcolm and Denise even, and working with each other and prioritizing that partnership over your alliance of 4?
I didn't see it at all, which is wild because we've talked on a daily basis. So I think it probably happened when they're talking together, because we could go between the 4 of us, like take turns. But I remember being really, really cold a lot of the nights, and Charlie like gave me his sweater. And like, if you would think anybody is close with Charlie, I would have thought it was me. So yeah.
Going back to you finding the Beware advantage, we've seen on this season, even the other people who found the Beware advantage decided to entrust that information with at least one other person. You decided to keep it to yourself, use that information for you. Did you think about sharing it with someone else to build trust? And what ultimately made you decide, like, I want to keep this for me?
I think we've seen where people share it and still get voted out, or don't share it and get voted out. And so for me, it was like, I'm playing a game, and we've also seen people play a game with Alliance member and it's not their game. It's somebody else's game and they're just going along with like everybody else. And I didn't want to be that person. I want to play a loyal game. That means I wasn't going to like flip in my alliance, but I'm also going to have my side game going because I want to be able to say, I've played this and this and done this and this, regardless of what I did or what I've done in the alliance. And so that's why I was like, my idol is my idol. Nobody else's idol. They don't need to know. They didn't know. They didn't catch on. And I wish I'd make it one more because then I would be in a merge with an idol that nobody knows that I have, with a target on somebody else.
We saw that Tim suspected you and confronted you about it. Why do you think he thought it was you?
Tim and I, we kind of had sort of like an alliance. He was like, if you find an idol, would you let me know? And if I find one, I'll let you know. And so I had seen him sneak out one night and I confronted him about it. I was like, I know you're hunting for an idol, so you got to tell me. But we've had like frank conversation. And so he's approached me a lot. He was like, did you do that? Did you set it up? And I was like, no, absolutely not. Like, I didn't do that. I'd tell you. Like, so it was more of like a conversation of like, no, I didn't do that. Like, I would tell you. And that was when we were digging. So that wasn't the same night when he approached me about the idol. That wasn't the night of that. That was like a few days before. So it just meshed together well.
I love the part where you were like, I'm glad that I didn't giggle because my husband always knows like that's my tell when I'm telling a lie. What was it like watching you tell all of these lies and keep up this ruse and like probably with your husband? What did he think?
I was so proud of myself. I am so proud of myself. Now I know I can lie. I can go into traders and just lie. No, but no, because like I'm a very genuine person. And so I would say, and maybe it's just because it's my husband that I would say something and I try to hold it in. I just can't hold it in. So I giggle. But because I don't like try to lie with everybody. So the only person that I know I've tried and practiced and it fail is with him. And so when I went out there and I was like, yeah, no, it's not me. I'm going to help you dig and I can keep the straight face. I learned how to like not make a facial expression that will like get me out and I'm just like neutral. Once I learned that, I was like, we're in the game. So everybody believed and nobody caught on. Nobody ever caught on. So that just went beautifully executed.
Oh my God, like this is crazy. I have to go back to camp, get the machete to go measure stuff. And I know that I have to do 3 different tasks. And I'm like, the tribe is right here. Like, how am I going to get away with it?
I felt like you had such a daunting task of trying to get the key for the box. How much time did you have? How quickly did that take? And was there ever a moment where you thought, I'm going to get caught, someone's going to turn the corner and I'm going to be, measuring this thing?
It took me like, honestly, 10 minutes first to remember what a perimeter is and how to calculate it. Because the first part of the thing is that you have to calculate the perimeter of these 3 things. And then I was like, I don't remember how to calculate a perimeter. And then I had to go through like what I learned in school. I was like, okay, what's a circumference? What's a radius? And then once I get to perimeter, I was like, we're in business. I remember it's like literally adding all the sides. And I was like, we're good. And now I'm running around trying to do that. And then Ben approached me. And that's the conversation that you see that I had the machete. That's why I held it down and I made sure I didn't like lift it up or act crazy because I didn't want to scare him. But I want him to go away because I needed to find my idol before my vote. Because then if my alliance if the tribal went my way and I didn't vote, that would have caused a big problem when we come back to camp. So I was like, I need to find it. And so that's why I was like, tell me who to vote for. Do you want to work with me? Like, just tell me who to vote for. Like, I don't even know. I was just heated and I just wanted to get it over with. And I was like, just go, like, leave me alone and just go. But I couldn't say that. I just had to be like, okay, tell me what to do or that. But it came off very like aggressive. So I can see how that like scared him a little, but yeah, I think had definitely the most daunting and the most like, that's why it's a viewer advantage because like I had to carry a machete around. And when you're in the moment, it doesn't like dawn on you to cut a piece of like stick that's the size. I thought of that when I got back home. I was like, damn, why didn't I do that? I was like, that's so silly. But I was also the provider, so I carried around the machete a lot to like get food for us. So it was like, they used to call me like Jungle Gem or Machete Queen because it was normal. So I thought it was it's what I normally do. So it's nothing different. So I didn't think I was going to get caught even with the machete. I was like, oh, this task was made for me, Jungle Gem. And so like, it was just like, I didn't know.
On Siga, because you guys never had to go to tribal for all this time, you got to build these great bonds, but also it leaves a lot of time for people's decisions on who they want to vote out to change. Do you think that if you guys had gone to tribal earlier, that someone else would have gone home? And if so, who is in talks? Like, who do you think would have left?
Absolutely. If we had gone to tribal, at least the first 2 tribal, I think Charlie's Angels would have stuck together because the battle of the songs didn't happen until day 7 or 8. And that's when like Charlie built kind of a relationship with Ben. But before that, it would have been Ben and Tim on the bottom because we had already reeled in Charlie's Angel on like day 2.
Do you feel like the Ben and Charlie relationship and like how close that they got really was the deciding factor in how the votes went? Or why do you think they ultimately went the way they did?
I didn't have closure in like my vote out because it doesn't really show because I know like the 2 things that they show I know what led to those and I know it's not the reason I got voted out because like we were still, that's before, it wasn't like, oh, I already got my idol so I was acting like erratic or like so confident that I have it. I was still looking for my idol during that time. So I didn't have it yet. Because I saw people were saying, oh, she has it, she's just being like cocky or confident. No, I was still looking for it. So I know it's not that. I just think like we've had so much time, and I told like my backstory the night before, and I'm thinking maybe that's also a reason why, because I didn't see the exact reason why. It was just like, it just showed that Maria and Charlie's like, so who do we want to go with, but not why they want to go with this person. So I didn't get closure from that.
Looking back, is there anything that didn't air in the episode or any of the episodes before this that you really will remember forever as an important part of your Survivor journey, whether it's strategy or just a fun moment?
I think it's just like us just sitting on the beach and like having heart-to-heart conversation about, like, you find out so much about people and it makes you want to open up and want to trust, especially when it's 11 days. So we've talked about like our friends, our family, what we love, what kind of food we like. And it's just like everything about each other. And then you feel confident enough to like go into more things that you don't really think in the moment is like threatening to people, but you go into these things because you're just confident about where you at, and then you lose, and then you're like, oh, like this is actually happening.
Is the tattoo still happening?
No way, not for me. If I get it, I'll put it on the bottom of my foot so I can walk on Siga, but no, it's not happening for me. I just think that maybe if I had loyal people that wanted to play a loyal game, and people who would really say like, this is the reason we want to vote you out, or this is like, just loyal people, I would do it. But I just felt betrayed. And I don't think I want a Siga tattoo. Like, what am I going to get? Siga on me? No, not happening.
Jem, the tribe has spoken.
So let's say that you got the chance to go back, play another game, get a second chance. Is there one thing that you know you would do differently this time?
Honestly, maybe if I have an idol for the first tribal, I'll play it, because that's where the alliance lines are really set in the sand. But honestly, I had fun. I think I would still have fun. I have so many more things that I wanted to do and like tricks up my sleeve that I would hope to get to the merge and execute it. But no, I'd still be fun, and I would be a little bit less guarded. Because the entire time I was really toned down. I wasn't my like sassy, entertaining self. I didn't want people to think differently of me because I couldn't get a read on the total group. I think I'd be a lot more my normal everyday self, because I think it gets me a lot further than just trying to be like, oh, I'm nice and calm and collected. No, that doesn't work.